Hello friends, my name is Emile, and welcome back to another episode of the Hot Lap Classic. This time we are taking a look at the 1999 Ford Mustang GT, aka the SN95 generation of Ford Mustang. A car which I've always kind of liked. This is probably one of my favourite generations of Mustang. I've just always liked the design of this particular one. Anyways, it is of course front-engined rear-wheel drive, as you'd expect, 368 horsepower. However, it is quite heavy at 1,321 kilograms. It does have a lot of torque though to make up for that. Of course, there is no racing modification on this car because, well, you can't racing mod the 99 Mustang GT. That is the SVT Cobra. That is the one that you can race mod. A little bit of interesting trivia before we get into today's episode. The statistics for this car are actually taken from a 5.0 Mustang by the looks of it, and not the sort of later generation 4.6 V8 modular engined Mustangs of this ilk, which means the statistics are kind of crap on this car. Once you buy it, you find out it has 207 horsepower. So yeah, not a lot of power, but once you fully upgrade it, you do get a fair amount out of it. Of course, we are going to take the car to the Motorsports Land track, where it's going to have 6 laps to try and topple the current leaderboard leader, which is the Mazda 323F Coupe, which got a 32.258, I believe, in the last episode. Now, the Mustang GT running at a little bit of a disadvantage because, of course, it does not have a racing mod, which means it does not have any downforce. However, of course, it is fully upgraded, running super soft tyres and all the rest of it, and as we have seen, the torque figure for the Mustang GT is rather mighty. Similar to the 323F, this is a naturally aspirated car, which does mean with the NA tune that it's essentially all the power is in a clump at the top of the rev range. However, with the torque that the Mustang produces, we might get away with not changing gears as much. Admittedly, that first flying lap was not hugely quick, a 34.075 to start us off. I think the tactic I might try and use for the Mustang is sort of keep it in second gear. I don't really think I'm going to need first all that much because, well, with the Mazda, you know, if you sort of left it in first gear, it wouldn't really do much. That being said, you know, if you left it in first gear, it would sort of take a while to get going. This, with the torque it's got, you know, even at 3,000 RPM in second gear, it's pulling. So that's a good sign. Yeah, first gear just seems to incite the rear end out, so I'll probably just stay in second gear for this one. It isn't a terrible handling vehicle, though, by any stretch of the imagination. It is, of course, more tail-happy than the 323, but then again, the 323 was front-wheel drive, and this isn't front-wheel drive, so yeah, that would probably explain that, in all honesty. A 33.500 exactly on our first sort of proper flying lap, I guess you could say. Yeah, that isn't a bad time. It is still a fair ways away off of that 323, though, as we dive into the 180 corner there. Yeah, this sort of track really is not suited for a muscle car. This is probably one of the least suitable cars you could bring here, you know, fully upgraded muscle car with no downforce whatsoever around the little go-kart track. A 33.005, which is a major improvement. Only got to find 0.8 of a second on that Mazda 323F now, though. That being said, we are starting to get a little bit tail slidey. The 323F, you felt like you could push it a little bit more, and really the only thing that car would do was understeer a bit. This, if you push it too much, that happens. You get a lot of sideways. So, yeah, you probably want to refrain from pushing it all that much. Coming on now to the final lap. Let's see what the Mustang can do. A little bit wide on the grass and a spin out. Well, sometimes that happens. Of course, here on the Hot Lap Classic, the 6 laps really are make or break for the cars. If they can't pull off, you know, if they have a dud 6 laps, then, well, that's just the way it flies, I'm afraid. You know, that will happen occasionally. And unfortunately, it has happened to our Mustang today. I have no doubt this car could go a little bit quicker. I'd say only about 0.5 of a second, though, before you really start running out of time you could make up on it. A 33.005 will end us out with the Mustang. So yeah, a little bit disappointing to have that last lap spin out, but ultimately still not a bad showing from the Mustang, especially considering how unsuited it is for a track like this. Yeah, I could have probably scraped off a fair bit more time, but yeah, there you go. At least it was a little bit quicker on the straights than the 323F. So of course, it failed to beat it, but we may as well go have a look at the leaderboard anyway and see where this car places. Onto the leaderboard then, and as you can see, the Mustang GT could not beat the Mazda 323F, going in second place with a 33.005. In case you're wondering what that little star is next to the Mustang GT's name, I'm going to use that to indicate that the vehicles were not running a racing modification, so yeah, there's a bit of an explanation on that. Anyways friends, thank you all very much for watching this edition of the Hot Lap Classic. As always, if you'd like to request cars for this series, simply tap them down below in the comment section. Alternatively, you can look at the cars that have already been requested and a full car list for Gran Turismo 2 by clicking the first link in the description. With that all being said and done friends, thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a farewell.